Ladies and gentlemen of the press, it is my distinct pleasure to have all of my family members, my immediate family members that are in Nassau with me. I have the oldest of my children's sibling, my sister Clarice, and I have the youngest of my parents' children, Craig. I have my son, Ted, whom I'm very proud of. Our daughter, Elizabeth, is away in school. And, of course, my beloved husband of 25 years. I thank you for this time. I'd like to thank my dear husband, Ed, for his kind introduction. Next year, God willing, we will celebrate our 25th wedding anniversary. When you look from the corner of our front yard where you're standing, and you face to the northwest, you can see the steeple of St. Matthew's Anglican Church, where I grew up in my Christian faith. I spent much of my childhood in the pond. The two biggest buildings to me as a child were St. Matthew's Anglican Church and my grandparents' home. That is just 5 minutes away from here. For the last 24 years, we have raised our children here in our home, near the same neighborhood and community in which I first came to know myself. In the morning, when I awake and get out, and in the evening when I come home, I always remember the source of my values and what gives me courage and strength, my faith, my family, and my community. Growing up, I was taught the importance of community and public service. I entered politics some years ago, inspired by several of my family members who served in politics and in government. Many people don't know or remember that our father, Loretta Butler, ran in the House of Assembly in 1967. History has some interesting twists and turns. My dad also ran in Long Island. We never know when the demands of history will call us to new forms of national service. When such demands arise, we must answer the call to the best of our ability. History often beckons us beyond our imaginings or even our expectations. Ladies and gentlemen, today I announce my intention to seek the leadership of the Free National Movement. I do so after much prayer and reflection, and after seeking the counsel and the support of my husband, our daughter, and our son, as well as other family members, and of course, dear friends. I made this decision in consultation with members of the FNM's Constituency Association of Long Island and many other Long Islanders. I am truly encouraged by the enormous support of the people of Long Island, whom I have the great privilege and honor of representing in Parliament. I decided to seek the leadership in response to the call of many FNMs and the call of Bahamians far and wide, young and old, from throughout our country. Today is National Heroes Day. It is a day to celebrate our national heroes, both male and female. It is a time to celebrate the very best of the Bahamian spirit. I count among my heroes Sir Cecil Wallace Whitfield, Dame Dr. Doris Johnson, Sir Kendall Isaacs, Janet Bostwick, and of course, my beloved grandfather, Sir Milo Butler. The title of our grandfather's biography is A Call to Service. My paternal and maternal grandparents, as well as my parents, Raleigh and Rose Butler, impressed upon each of their children and grandchildren the call to service. I believe that the call to public service today is to help heal a wounded and troubled nation, to stem the ever-mounting tide of violence and social decay, to heal the spirit and to strengthen the will of the Bahamian people to face the future with courage, to work for the transformation of our society through the restoration of our social culture, and to vigorously pursue the development of our economy with emphasis on the continued expansion of Bahamian ownership. Too many Bahamians cannot afford to pay electricity bills, to pay for groceries, to pay their mortgages, and to meet other obligations. As an increasing number of Bahamians, including children, are going hungry, this is unacceptable. The cost of living is strangling the Bahamian dream. We are a hurting people in so many ways. We are simply not headed downhill. We are headed downhill fast. We are hurting because we're afraid. We are afraid to leave our homes in the night. We are afraid that we cannot do what we want to do for our children. As a people, we have always thought that things would be better in the future. Now, one of our greatest fears is that things will not get better and may even get worse. We start to fear the future. The nation is in peril. Along with countless others, I believe that our country desperately needs new leadership. Prime Minister Perry Christie has given long years of service to the country, and I thank him for that. But as Prime Minister, he has failed dismally to deliver on his promise to the Bahamian people, and he has failed to lead. The main task of the opposition today is to mount an effective opposition to a ruling party that has put their own interests above the interests of our Bahamian people. This government is out of control and must be held more accountable by the opposition and by a firm leader of the opposition who will keep both eyes on them inside and outside of Parliament. Along with others, I am very grateful to the service that our present leader of the FNM, Dr. Hubert Minnis, has given as an MP, a minister, and leader of our opposition. Still, given the great challenge of mounting a more effective opposition, of holding this government accountable, and of returning the FNM to office, the question is this: who is the best available person at this time to lead the opposition in Parliament and in the country and to defeat the PLP at the next general election? The question of leadership today is not who is the best man for the job. I remind you, as Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. reminded us, it is not about the color of one's skin, but the content of one's character. So too, the question of leadership today is, who is the best person for the job? I believe that I am the most capable individual at this time to unite, to reignite, and to lead the opposition in order to defeat a failed government. As a young adult, I joined the FNM because I believed that the country was headed in the wrong direction under the PLP. I was inspired by the story, by the courage, and by the values of the Free National Movement. I come from a PLP family, so I respect political differences. It is a testimony to our democracy that we can debate our differences and remain as one Bahamas. I believe that there are very distinct differences between our major parties. The FNM must be clear about those differences and consistent in our position and our convictions. We in the FNM have a proud record of government, a record of reform and modernization in 3 non-consecutive administrations led by the Right Honorable Hubert Ingram. I am running for leader because I do believe that the FNM needs the quality of leadership that will attract more independent voters and young people, as well as a growing number of PLPs who are disturbed by the direction of our country today. I believe that I will offer to my party and to our country a big heart, a tough and strong mind, and a spirit of compassion, especially for the least fortunate among us in our Bahamas. Having worked in business, I believe that I can bring experience to the business of governance. I wish to foster within our FNM and in government, a leadership style that is more inclusive, collegial, and collaborative. I also have a vision about the role of government today. We must place a greater emphasis on human and community development, especially in the areas of training and education, and with an emphasis on early childhood development. In addition to tackling issues like the high cost of electricity, we must promote the development of a new generation of entrepreneurs, especially in the small and medium-sized businesses. We need new sources of employment and economic activity, and urgently to tackle the high rate of unemployment among our young people. As we work hard to protect and promote our heritage and our culture, and to preserve our natural environment, these are things we must do. If I am fortunate to serve as leader of the opposition and as Prime Minister, one of my major priorities will be to confront the scourge of violent crime, its root causes, and how we administer the criminal justice system. We have many challenges before us as a country, but these challenges only tell us about the road ahead. They do not fully define us. What defines us is how we overcome our challenges. What defines us further is our values and our national story and whence we came. We have faced challenges before, and we have met them. But what often determines success or failure is the quality of leadership in a country. I wish to offer a new style of leadership and a clear vision about our shared future. The opposition cannot wait and run out the clock until the next election. Given our constitutional role, we must be more effective in opposition today. We must prepare not just for the next general election. We must prepare ourselves for the great responsibility of a return to office. I wish to build within the FNM a strong, inclusive team and party. The great promise of what we can be as a country far outweighs our challenges. I seek today to lead my party to office so that we may offer the Bahamian people real and credible change and a new direction. May God bless the memory of all of our national heroes, and may God bless our beloved Bahamas. I thank you very much, and good afternoon.